People from more than 30 countries came together near Addis Ababa to honor the memories of their loved ones. Virginie Fricaudet lost her brother in the Ethiopian Airlines crash in March last year that killed 157 people. It was the second fatal accident involving a 737 MAX Boeing jet. Just 5 months earlier, 189 people died when a Lion airplane crashed soon after takeoff in Jakarta, Indonesia.
This isn't just a crash. In my opinion, it's a scandal. This plane should never have flown. There was enough information in the possession of Boeing and the FAA to prevent this plane from flying.
A report released on Monday by Ethiopian officials found pilots did not receive adequate training. It also supports earlier findings that the plane's software was flawed, an issue Boeing knew about but ignored.
Progressively, more and more evidence has been coming up that shows that Boeing had done something bad. We have seen confessions from some engineers. We have seen various hearings before the Congress of America, which seem to show some lapses on the part of the FAA and also Boeing.
Since the planes went down, Boeing has been battling strong headwinds. The plane maker has been slapped with hundreds of lawsuits, its CEO was forced to step down, and its best-selling 737 MAX remains grounded worldwide, its production halted. The grounding is expected to cost Boeing $19 billion. Last year, it reported a net loss of $636 million, its first annual loss in 20 years. And the company's stock has shed almost 40% of its value in the past year. On Monday, its shares plunged more than 12%, reaching their lowest level in 3 years. That's after US regulators said the 737 MAX wiring bundles didn't meet safety standards, further delaying the plane's return to the skies. And now Boeing is being dealt another blow. The International Air Transport Association says the global coronavirus outbreak could wipe out more than $100 billion in revenue for the aviation industry as people cut back on travel. For Boeing, this means even more turbulence ahead as airlines cut back on orders and delay payments. Sibel Karkus, TRT World.
Well, for more on the story, let's go to Heinrich Grossbongardt in Hamburg. He's the managing director of the aviation consultancy Expertise Communications. Welcome back to Money Talks, Heinrich. Now, as we heard there, it's the first anniversary of the second deadly Boeing 737 MAX crash involving the Ethiopian Airlines jet. Now, Ethiopian authorities have released an interim report essentially blaming Boeing for the crash. Does that come as a surprise to you?
No, not at all. From what we know, this accident is the combination of a badly developed software and insufficiently trained pilots. So it's the combination of two elements that led to the deaths of so many people.
That's right. Now, days after the second crash involving the Ethiopian Airlines jet, we saw the worldwide grounding of the Boeing 737 MAX aircraft. What's happened in that year? Do you believe Boeing has done enough to address the problems associated with the aircraft?
I think Boeing has done a lot. I've been in a simulator with the new software myself. It really looks okay. It needs certification, and the aviation authorities around the world need to agree on how to train pilots to avoid any malfunction that might happen in the future.
Now, we also understand that there's been friction between Boeing and the US aviation regulator, the FAA. We understand Boeing has been putting on the pressure on the FAA to recertify the 737 MAX. Do you think that was perhaps a mistake on Boeing's part to subtly pressure the regulators?
When they did this a couple of months ago, that was obviously wrong. Boeing changed course in early January, where they said, okay, we expect the aircraft to be recertified in mid 2020, and this time the FAA, the American Aviation Authority, said that this might happen even earlier, which was a sign of relief.
Yes. Now, can I ask you about the coronavirus outbreak? Obviously, no one saw this coming, least of all Boeing or the aviation industry. IATA says that the airline industry as a whole will take a $100 billion hit from the outbreak this year. How will this specifically affect Boeing's bottom line and its attempts to get its 737 MAX back into the skies?
Paradoxically, Boeing will more or less benefit from this because airlines are happy not to take aircraft they have ordered because they can't use it anyway at the moment. So it's relief for Boeing, while it might spell trouble for Airbus, who is producing aircraft at full speed at the moment. So I think the coronavirus won't deepen the crisis Boeing is in, but it's already a disaster for the company.
Yes. Now, before we let you go, Heinrich, I'm wondering, 1 year on, are you confident that Boeing can restore the public's faith in its aircraft, particularly the 737 MAX?
I think pace will be restored, but not so much by Boeing, but by its customers, by the airlines who have taken a close look at the aircraft themselves. We have seen recently orders, and we have heard from some airlines that they are prepared to sign new orders on 737. So the airlines will do the job of regaining confidence of the flying public.
Okay, let's see what's in store for Boeing and its troubled aircraft. Heinrich Grossbongardt in Hamburg, thank you so much again.